When you think of POW camps, you might think of Auschwitz during World War II, or you might think of Vietnam. But here in Greeley, Colorado, we have a different story to tell you.
That a lot of the farmers in this area were Germans or German from Russia. And they, because most of the prisoners who spent time in Greeley during World War II were Germans or Austrians, they often had a connection with the farmers. They would go out and work for the farmers to fill that labor shortage that was caused by World War II and all the young men from this area going to serve in the war. And so, in fact, we in that video we did about the Windows of Time, you saw the interview with one of the gentlemen that I interviewed. He was talking about how he was in Europe and his brother was working at the camp, and he was sending them prisoners. But he was the gentleman whose family the prisoner had sent a wooden box for his family's Bible. That was the gentleman that he had worked, or his brother worked at the camp. And so a lot of the prisoners worked on farms in the area, working like harvesting sugar beets or planting or whatever needed to be done over the course of those few years. And they often felt, well, I don't know what they all felt, of course, but I've heard positive stories about how they were grateful to be here working and living in this area during the war as opposed to getting shot at. So, which makes sense. I mean, this is a beautiful place as it is. I know the barracks were not comfortable. They were not built to be warm or anything, but obviously they survived in them, and the camp provided food for them. But oftentimes the farmers' wives would cook hearty German meals because they felt sorry for the prisoners and wanted to do that because they had a connection with them, even though the U.S. government had strictly forbidden for citizens from fraternizing with prisoners and developing a relationship with them.
When World War II started, a lot of Germans did not agree with the war and they fled Germany and they arrived here in Greeley, Colorado. Surprisingly, my wife's great grandparents were one of them.